What's up, everyone? FANCRAFT. That's right, it is Bo here, and I am in a location you probably don't recognize. I mean, it's been a while, actually, since I've been here. I am in the Gamma Lab in the Marvel District. That's right. This is a build I'm pretty proud of, especially with the interior, because it definitely tells the story of some sort of experimentation that has gone wrong, and something has gotten away. Busting right out the side of the building. It's the most appropriate location, I think, to start this week's episode because we are going to be doing something a little similar. We're going to be taking a build and telling a little bit of a story with it. Not the Gamma Lab, but the PYM Building. Yes, I teased this up a little bit last week, but we're going to be actually making a little action happen here at the PYM Building. This is maybe not so shockingly my least favorite of all my builds so far this season, and I want to fix that. I want to fix it so bad. Like, originally it was the big white box, and then we put these kind of PYM particles in here, and that definitely helped to an extent, but it's just not enough. It needs more. It needs something that really is going to make it stand out and make it not just a big white box. That's my hope. That is absolutely my hope for today. But before we do that, I want to actually show you what my original idea was for this, especially because it's probably not going to happen. So inside the PYM Building, we've been selling Skulk, and that's fine. I will probably actually be moving the Skulk to a new shop in the Harry Potter district, but for now, we're just going to keep it as is. It doesn't make any sense that we would sell Skulk here, except that I did use it for kind of the PYM particles eroding away at the building. But really, this was just going to be a temporary front for what is beyond this point. Because you see, I actually intended to make a roller coaster. Well, okay, so a roller coaster, a ride experience, a hidden shop, that sort of thing. The idea here was going to be that you were going to enter into the PYM Building. Instead of this little small box area, it was going to be kind of more of a lab, and there would be a place for you to be able to go on the experience of, well, experiencing what it's like to be Ant-Man. That's right. I was going to shrink you. That was the goal here. You were going to shrink down and go on this kind of journey. And, oh, hi. Look at that. It looks like somebody is wanting to test out the roller coaster. I'm afraid not, my friend. Let's get you. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think it's safe to test this. It's actually been a long time since I've done this. But regardless, this whole back end you would not see. It would all have been covered up. But ideally, you would be here, and you would press this button, and it would start you on this journey. There we go. And the idea was it was preparing you to get shrunken down. Yeah, here we go. You'd go up here, turn around, and ta-da! You had this big laser right here as everything was going to light up around you right before you hit the laser. And then, then you were going to fall down into like another layer below the ground that was going to be kind of a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of experience where everything was going to be larger and you were going to be small and I was going to sell stuff down there. And that was kind of the idea behind it. Cool idea, but requires a much bigger brain than mine. And while I am kind of pleased with how the little like shrinking laser looks, I'm definitely not going to do this. Yep, it's not happening. So I don't even know if anybody ever like poked around back here and figured out that was what was going to be the PYM Building. But you know what? Now you know, and you didn't before. So there you go. But today we are actually going to be doing something on the exterior. And my vision is essentially I'm looking to make it so that things continue to go wrong here at PYM Industries, PYM Headquarters, PYM Sciences, PYM Technologies? Yeah, I can't actually remember what the name of the company is. Anyway, the PYM Building. I want things to be going bad here. And it's not just that these little PYM particles are eating away at the building. I want to have Ant-Man become Giant Man from inside the building, and he's bursting forth at the top. Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're going for. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be cool. Now, I'm not really great at making things look really good in terms of like real life, like organic type builds. So we're going to be using the mindset that Ant-Man looks like us, right? He's going to be, it's like a guy in a Minecraft skin, and the Minecraft skin is Ant-Man. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be that, but on a giant level, bursting forth through the roof. We might have some pieces of the building down here and all that kind of good stuff. And that is the goal. Kind of like we did over here. Now you can see why I wanted to start the video over here. This is, it's kind of like this, except it it won't be as small. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be gianter, if you will. And so, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging, but I think I can do it. I hope I can do it. Let's just jump into it. Let me see how far I can get. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, I don't think you're ready. Let's take a look. Ta-da! Oh yeah, Ant-Man is having some problems. Yes. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. This turned out way better than I actually anticipated. A little bit, if I'm being totally honest, because I was a little worried that because I was going for, a very like in-universe, if you will, blocky Minecraft skin type approach to Ant-Man, I thought, maybe it's not going to look as cool. Oh no, it looks even cooler. It just looks right. Oh, yes. Okay. Man, oh man. When I think about how much I have been dissatisfied with this PYM building and how awesome it is now that Ant-Man is busting out of the top. Oh, and look at this. There has been some damage. Some pieces of the PYM building have in fact fallen to the street because of this little mishap that, well, I keep saying Ant-Man, but I guess technically Giant Man has been having here at the PYM building. And this is my favorite type of build and improvement because it effectively and actively changes the skyline of FANCRAFT a little bit. Certainly the skyline of the Marvel District. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, you're about to see. So I always try to think of what things look like from the snow globe. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so technically when you spawn in for the first time on FANCRAFT, you technically arrive above the roof, and it's a bit of a problem we need to figure out, but that's a problem for another time. Anyway, actually, this isn't the worst place to spawn into FANCRAFT now that I think about it. This is a pretty good view of a lot of different things. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. I like this a lot. But it's not the only thing I like. It's not the only view of this I like. Because if I head right over here into my office at the lore office, right up here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's just right over there. Oh man, it's so good. Oh man, this is sized so right. Oh yes. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. That's just great. So I suppose there is kind of a question of, do we make a significant change to the interior now that the exterior has had this vast improvement? I mean, as I mentioned, we sell Skulk, but maybe we need to sell something different in here. And I'm probably going to eradicate this whole roller coaster system or just ride system in general. It's not worth it. Oops. It's just not worth it. It doesn't do what I want it to. And besides, I think the killer app, so to speak, is right above me. Yeah, maybe a problem for the future. Oh, but speaking of problems for the past, I actually have also been doing a little tinkering over at the Pokemon Center that we built last week. And I think I've figured out all of the good redstone that we need to do. Well, okay, so if not fully what I was hoping for, at least partially what I was hoping for. Because as you may recall, the goal was for this thing to be a bit of an XP shop or XP game or XP farm. I'm not entirely sure what, but basically the goal was you're supposed to come here and get some XP. And now you can do that. You press this button and... yeah, there you go. You get some XP, and technically some eggs will also pop out as well from time to time, and occasionally a chicken. So that's just kind of funny. I don't know. I don't really have more of a purpose for it than that. I'll have to think about it. But somebody did in the comments last week mention that if you use, of course, note blocks, then you can make it do the dun 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 dun. I don't know how to. I know what note blocks are. I know technically, essentially how to use note blocks, but I'm not sure like what the appropriate dun 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 would be, or even what I need to attach them to get that correct sound. I don't know. It might be worth tinkering with because it is, kind of a cool feature to have if we can make it work. But overall, I'm very, very glad with how this build turned out. I mean, it really just did great. I want to kind of point out something too that was a little tricky for me, and that was working on the arms, because I didn't want it just to be like straight up or straight down. That would have definitely been the easy way to go. But I wanted to kind of make it so that he's like actively moving a little bit. And so getting it at an angle was, it doesn't seem like it'd be difficult. It was extremely difficult. It was extremely difficult. I had to tinker with it several times. Same thing with his kind of hand essentially coming down off the other side as well. And what's crazy is, I guess, from the base of the PYM building, it doesn't look really like much. You just know that something is going on up there for sure. And I suppose, like most giant builds, the further away you are, the better it actually looks. But one way or the other, hey buddy, how's it going? Oh man, hi, look at this nut. I'm in his hand. Oh man, that's great. That's great. Oh, I wonder how this looks from the pirate district. My little ship out here is always kind of my point of reference, and it's one of those situations where it's just going to be what it is. It's like the giant 4 up there. If you're down on kind of the Port Royal base, I doubt that's noticeable, but there's just some things. There's always going to be some bleed over from every single district, no matter which one you're in. I don't know that you could totally be immersed in any one district. I mean, maybe Harry Potter. Yeah, but like even from Diagon Alley, you can technically see Mount Olympus, and certainly you can see the Time Temple from the Nintendo district. So yeah, there's always going to be a little bit of bleed over no matter where you are. But that's FANCRAFT. That's what we're about here. We're about bringing all these different fandoms, all these different fun builds together. That's what we want to do. And man, oh man, we do it well. But I do think that is going to do it for us for today. Hope you've enjoyed this build. I know I certainly am very pleased, if you couldn't already tell, with how it turned out. Be sure to like, comment, leave some great suggestions, again, in the comments below. And by the way, if you are somebody who is good with note blocks and has kind of a guideline for making some of those Pokemon-like sounds, put them in there. Let me know. We can make the Pokemon Center very much collaboratively. I think that would be great. But for me, for Giant Man behind me, and for all the poor folks at the PYM Industries, like, subscribe, do all the things, and until next time, goodbye.